Good evening. Tonight's video is going to be another Magic the Gathering video. I have a pre-release kit for Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. So the art on this one is pretty cool. It has like a ninja or something. It's kind of more modernized. And the inner box has a sort of robot vehicle. Has a card separator. That is some really cool art. Little mini poster. Alright. Let's maybe take a look at the promo. I have already cut the tops off of each of these, so hopefully it won't be too loud. So this is my promo card. It is called a Mech Titan Core. It is an artifact vehicle. I guess yesterday went to an event for the pre-release, which I did not do very well in. But that's okay. And I noticed there were a lot of vehicles in this particular set, so that'll be kind of interesting to get used to going forward. It seemed like it was pretty neat. So this one, if I Pay 5 colorless. I can exile Mech Titan Core and 4 other artifact creatures and or vehicles you control. Create Mech Titan, a legendary 10/10 construct artifact creature token with flying, vigilance, trample, lifelink, and haste. That's all colors. When that token leaves the battlefield, return all cards exiled with Mech Titan Core except Mech Titan Core to the battlefield tapped under their owner's control. So that's a pretty good card, I think. Alright. Ooh, that one's beautiful. I did not see this one last night. So, this one is called Sky Swimmer Koi. It is a 3 colorless, 1 blue. It is a creature fish, just a basic. It's flying. Whenever an artifact enters the battlefield under your control, you may draw a card. If you do, discard a card. Once they swam alone among the clouds, but now the people of Kamigawa have built high enough to reach them. It's like a cool fish that swims through the air. Next is Tamiyo's Safekeeping. It is an instant, just a basic. Target permanent you control gains hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. You gain 2 life. It's a green. This is also a blue. This is Arm Guard Familiar. 1 colorless, 1 blue. Artifact creature, equipment beast. Ward, 2 colorless. Whenever this permanent becomes a target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, counter it unless that player pays 2. So equipped creature gets +2/+1 and it has ward. And then this also has reconfigure, which I thought was kind of interesting. So it's 4 colorless and it means to attach to a target creature you control or unattach from a creature, reconfigure only as a sorcery. While attached, it isn't a creature. So it can kind of become a piece of equipment to buff up another creature, or it can stay its own. Next is a 1 red, 1 colorless, Aki, Ember Keeper, enchantment creature, Goblin Warrior, basic. Whenever a non-token modified creature you control dies, create a 1/1 colorless spirit creature token. Equipment, auras you control, and counters are modifications. Follow my lantern, little ones. Dragonfly suit, artifact, vehicle, another vehicle here. It has flying, and it's a crew 1, so I would tap any number of creatures that I control with a total power of 1 or more, and you don't have to tap more than 1 creature, just the 1. So this vehicle becomes an artifact creature until end of turn, which is nice because then you can tap a creature with 1 power, and then in return you get a creature with 2 power. So that is a white. Next is a green, 1 green, 2 colorless for Grafted Growth. That's pretty interesting picture. So Enchantment Aura, a basic. Enchant land. Let's see. So when Grafted Growth enters the battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on target creature or vehicle you control. Enchanted land has a tap to add 2 mana of any color. That's pretty nice. And beautiful. This one is a basic, not basic, sorry. It's a common. Uncharted Haven land. Uncharted Haven enters the battlefield tapped. And as Uncharted Haven enters the battlefield, choose a color. Tap to add 1 mana of the chosen color. Untouched by mortal or kami, unspoiled by their wars. So it is a land, but you can use it for anything. So. You are already dead. This is a 1 black to play. It is an instant, so that's actually really nice. It said destroy target creature that was dealt damage this turn. Draw a card. For 1 black. So swift and sharp was his blade that the ogre never even felt the cut. Put that in there. So I also noticed in this release there were some really beautiful, like full card lands. So this is the water, which I really like. And I think it might be hard to see on the camera, but in the little corner there's like a very small frog creature down there, which is really cool. Put it in a little sleeve. Samurai Token. Kotos, the Silent Spider. This is a black and blue with 3 colorless. This is a legendary creature, human ninja. So this one is actually a rare. When Kotose, the Silent Spider, enters the battlefield, exile target card other than a basic land card from an opponent's graveyard. Search that player's graveyard, hand, and library for any number of cards with the same name as that card and exile them. Then that player shuffles. For as long as you control Kotose, you may play one of the exiled cards, and you may spend mana as though it were mana of any color to cast. This one is an Acquisition Octopus, and an uncommon, and it is a blue, 2 colorless. Let's see here. Artifact creature, Equipment Octopus. Whenever Acquisition Octopus or equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. And it also has reconfigure, so this is the same thing where you can attach it to another creature or have it its own. You can never have too many arms. Next we have Thornwood Falls, which is a land, and it is a dual land. Thornwood Falls enters the battlefield tapped. When Thornwood Falls enters the battlefield, you gain 1 life. Tap to add green or blue. Ooh, I really like the art on that one. It's kind of a necro witch. Some skeleton hands in there. Grave Lighter. 2 colorless, 1 black. Creature spirit. Next one is uncommon. So it has flying. When Grave Lighter enters the battlefield, draw a card if a creature died this turn. Otherwise, each player sacrifices a creature. It appears only to those whose lives are ending, welcoming them to their fate. I feel like sometimes these cards are a little dangerous when it says each player sacrifices a creature. That includes you. Next is 2 colorless, an artifact creature. So this is Patchwork Automation. Just another construct creature you can attach to another. What do? Alright. Oh, here is a saga. So these were kind of neat. This one is called Life of Toshiro, Umezawa. 1 black, 1 colorless. So as this saga enters, after your draw step, add a lore counter. So for the first and the second lore counter, you can choose 1. Target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Target creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn, and you gain 2 life. Exile this saga, then return it to the battlefield transformed under your control for step 3. And then, so that's the one side. And then, when you transform it, that is the other side. So transformed, it becomes Memory of Toshiro, enchantment creature, human samurai. And last, Inkrise Infiltrator. 1 black, 1 colorless. Creature, human ninja. Flying, 3 colorless, 1 black. Inkrise Infiltrator gets +2/+2 until end of turn. They can't follow your footsteps if you never touch the ground. I actually was able to get this guy out quite a bit yesterday. Different artwork though. Alright, let's open another. So I have another Mech Titan core. Look at that one. So this is an uncommon. 6 colorless and 1 white. Very expensive. So it is called Sky Blessed Samurai. Enchantment creature, human samurai. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each enchantment you control, and it has flying. The art on that one is really cool. The next one is called Dockside Chef for 1 black. Enchantment creature, human citizen. It's an uncommon. 1 colorless, 1 black. Sacrifice an artifact or creature and draw a card. The squirming is how you know it's fresh. Has a bunch of spectral hands with chopsticks. Mobilizer Mech, 1 blue, 1 colorless. Artifact vehicle. Flying, uncommon. Whenever Mobilizer Mech becomes crewed, up to 1 other target vehicle you control becomes artifact creature until end of turn. A generous visitor, a creature spirit. Whenever you cast an enchantment spell, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. It is said that one must modestly refuse a gift 3 times before accepting it to show humility before the kami. There's a little forest spirit in there. He's kind of cute. This one is called Hand of Enlightenment. 2/2 creature. Enchantment creature, human monk. With first strike. We have endured lifetimes of war and carved our way to peace by blade and conquest. Now united at last under Kyodai's guidance, we lay down our weapons and open our minds. Oha, General of the First Emperor. So this one is a common Imperial Subduer, 1 white, 2 colorless. It's a human samurai. Whenever a samurai or warrior you control attacks alone, have a target creature you don't control. This one did, or I shouldn't say this one, but this mechanic kind of messed me up big time. Had all my creatures down. Kami of the Restless Shadows. Creature spirit, 4 colorless, 1 black. When Kami of Restless Shadows enters the battlefield, choose 1. Return up to 1 target ninja or rogue creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Put target creature card from your graveyard on top of your library. Kami of Terrible Secrets. 3 colorless, 1 black. Creature spirit, common. When Kami of Terrible Secrets enters the battlefield, if you control an artifact and an enchantment, you draw a card and gain 1 life. Kami of Industry. 4 colorless, 1 red. Creature spirit, common. When Kami of Industry enters the battlefield, return target artifact card with mana value of 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. It gains haste. Sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. It takes many arms to arm an army. Has like a monkey with lots of arms. Kitsune Ace. White. Fox Pilot. Whenever a vehicle you control attacks, choose 1. That vehicle gains first strike until end of turn, or untap Kitsune Ace. Like a little fox guy. Nomic Sphere is an artifact. 1 colorless, 1 blue. Sacrifice Mnemonic Sphere, draw 2 cards. Channel for 1 blue, discard Mnemonic Sphere, draw a card. Let the Imperials search our laboratories. Will they think to look for secrets in a pretty bauble? Careful Cultivation. Green, 2 colorless. Enchantment Aura. Enchant artifact or creature. As long as enchanted permanent is a creature, it gets +1/+3 and has reach, and tap to add 2 green mana. Channel 1 colorless, 1 green, discard Careful Cultivation, and create a 1/1 green human monk creature token with tap to add 1 green mana. Nice artwork there too. Papercraft Decoy, 2 colorless. So an artifact creature frog. When Papercraft Decoy leaves the battlefield, you may pay 2. If you do, draw a card. Alright, next is Iron Apprentice, 1 colorless artifact creature construct. Iron Apprentice enters the battlefield with +1/+1 counter on it. When Iron Apprentice dies, if it has counters on it, put those counters on target creature you control. I need an extra set of hands, so I built one. Kenjin Sokezan Artisan. Another graphic growth. Kaito's Pursuit. 2 colorless, 1 black, sorcery. Target player discards 2 cards. Ninjas and rogues you control gain menace until end of turn, which means that they cannot be blocked except by 2 or more creatures. Kaito knew every rooftop in the city and closed in quickly on his quarry, but he knew nothing of the planar bridge until it was already too late. Commune with Spirits. Sorcery, a green, a common. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal an enchantment or land card from among them and put into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. The Kami of Yukai Forest accept only the most respectful petitioners. Suit up. 1 blue, 2 colorless. Until end of turn, target creature or vehicle become an artifact creature with base power and toughness of 4/5 and draw a card. With a reckless leap into the pilot's seat, Hirori went from smallest kid on the block to biggest hero in the city. Lucky Offering. 1 white is a sorcery. Destroy target artifact with mana value of 3 or less, and you gain 3 life. The playful Kami reserved its greatest blessing for those who brought not wealth or rare delicacies, but particularly amusing trinkets. Seems fitting for a cat. Scrapyard, Steelbreaker, Human Warrior. So red and 3 colors. Pay 1 to sacrifice another artifact, and Scrapyard Steelbreaker gets +2/+1 until end of turn. You've got about 3 seconds to get out of here before you get a Faithful of Metal. Moon Circuit Hacker. 1 blue, 1 colorless. Enchantment creature, Human Ninja. Ninjutsu. 1 blue. Return an unblocked attacker you control to hand. Put this card onto the battlefield from your hand, tapped and attacking. Whenever Moon Circuit Hacker deals combat damage to a player, you may draw a card. If you do, discard that card until Moon Circuit Hacker enters the battlefield this turn. Peerless Samurai. 2 colorless, 1 red. Creature, Human Samurai. Has a menace. This creature cannot be blocked except by 2 or more creatures. Whenever a samurai or warrior you control attacks alone, the next spell you cast this turn costs 1 less to cast. Pretty cool card. Here is another saga, Befriending the Moths. 1 white, 3 colorless. So for the first, you get target creature you control gains +1/+1 and gains flying until end of turn. Exile this saga and then return it to the battlefield transformed. Imperial Moth, enchantment creature, insect. So it has flying. The moths of Iganjo were once no different than any other great beast of Kamigawa's wilds. It took years of patience and dedication to convince them to bear riders. Malicious Malfunction. 2 black, 1 colorless. Sorcery. Uncommon. All creatures you get, or all creatures get -2/-2 until end of turn. If a creature would die this turn, exile it instead. Go Shintai of Shared Purpose. 1 white, 3 colorless. Legendary enchantment creature shrine, uncommon. Vigilance. At the beginning of your end step, you may pay 1. If you do, create a 1/1 colorless spirit creature token for each shrine you control. It seeks those who act with kindness and offers friendship. Vanishing Slash. 2 white. Sorcery uncommon. Destroy up to 1 target artifact, enchantment, or tapped creature. Then, if you control an artifact and an enchantment, create a 2/2 white samurai creature token with vigilance. In the name of Kyodai, be gone. Heir, the Swirling Sky. 4 colorless, 2 blue. Legendary creature. So this one is actually a mythic rare. Legendary creature, Dragon Spirit. Flying, ward 3. When Heir, the Swirling Skies dies, choose 1. Return any number of target non-land permanents with a total mana of 6 or less to their owner's hand. Mill 6 cards, then return up to 2 instant or sorcery cards from your graveyard to your hand. So he's a 6/6. Swift Water Cliffs. It looks like a dual land. Swift Water Cliffs enters the battlefield tapped. When Swift Water Cliffs enters the battlefield, you gain 1 life. And you can do a blue or red. And then a creature's token creature spirit. Menace. Violet token creature. This one is a green full art land. Searchlight Companion, 3 colorless, artifact drone, flying. When a Searchlight Companion enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 colorless spirit token creature. The merging of the spirit and material realms has resulted in some unusual friendships. Bamboo Grove Archer, 1 colorless, 1 green. A Snake Archer. It has Defender and Reach. Channel 4 colorless, 1 green. Discard Bamboo Grove Archer and destroy a target creature with flying. Do not mistake tranquility for domestication. This land is wild and will always remain so. Network Disruptor, artifact creature, Moonfolk Rogue, has flying. When Network Disruptor enters the battlefield, tap target permanent. Just as I suspected, they thought they'd hide the terminal, so they got lazy with the encryption. 1 blue. Spirited Companion, 1 white, 1 colorless. It is an enchantment creature dog. When Spirited Companion enters the battlefield, draw a card. She formed a friendship with several playful spirits, and soon the pack was known as the source of much mischief in Iganjo. Cute little puppy. One red, instant. Target creature gets +1/+0 and gains first strike until end of turn. The only thing better than hitting hard is hitting first. Good goblin. I really like the art on this one. Reckoner Shakedown. sorcery. Target opponent reveals their hand. You may choose non-land card from it. If you do, that player discards that card. If you don't, put a 2/1/1 counters on a creature or vehicle you control. That's the start. What else do you have for us? Takumi, Reckoner Enforcer. Moon Circuit Hacker. 1 blue, 1 colorless. Human Ninja. His ninjutsu. Whenever Moon Circuit Hacker deals combat damage to a player, you may draw a card. If you do, discard a card, unless Moon Circuit Hacker entered the battlefield this turn. Peerless Samurai. We have another one of those. So I also noticed there were a lot of rat creatures in this one, which was really neat. So this is a black, 2 colorless Nezumi Blade Blesser. Rat Samurai. Nezumi Blade Blesser has Death Touch as long as you control an artifact. Nezumi Blade Blesser has Menace as long as you control an enchantment. It can't be blocked except by 2 or more creatures. It's not one or the other, Kami or technology. Both offer power. I will not limit myself. Another saga, The Fall of Lord Kondo. First one is exile target creature an opponent controls with a mana value of 4 or greater. Step 2, each player gains control of all permanents they own. Exile this saga for 3, and then return it to the battlefield transformed. Fragment of Kondo. Defender. When Fragment of Kondo dies, draw a card. For his transgressions against the Kami, Lord Kondo's mortal body was turned to stone, then shattered into 1,000 still living pieces. Well, that would be a bummer. Mech Heir is a land. Tap to add 1 colorless, or it can tap to add 1 mana of any color. So spend this mana only to cast a pilot or vehicle spell. I can pay 3 and tap. Target vehicle becomes an artifact creature until end of turn. Yukai Naturalist. 1 green, 1 white. It is an enchantment creature, human monk, with a lifelink. Enchantment spells you cost 1 less to cast. He had heard rumors of the cities, the constant noise, the stagnant air, the tainted water, and he had no wish to learn if they were true. Covert Technician. 1 blue, 2 colorless. It is a human ninja. Ninjutsu. Whenever Covert Technician deals combat damage to a player, you may put an artifact card with mana value less than or equal to the damage from your hand onto the battlefield. And this one is a rare. It is X red. An instant. As an additional cost to cast this spell, you may exile any number of red cards from your hand. This spell costs 2 less to cast for each card exiled that way. Exile the top X cards of your library. You may play up to 2 of token artifact creature. This is a dual land, Jungle Hollow. Jungle Hollow enters the battlefield tapped. When Jungle Hollow enters the battlefield, you gain 1 life. Tap to add a black or a green. I really like the art of that one. And this one is a rare. It is a Scrap Welder. 1 red, 2 colorless. Creature, Goblin Artificer. Tap to sacrifice an artifact with mana value X. Return target artifact card with mana value less than X from your graveyard to the battlefield. It gains haste until end of turn. This big bad metal guy, or this big metal guy, will make some amazing wind chimes. Ishin 2 heavens as 1. Ooh, this one is a black, a white, and a red. Legendary creature, Human Samurai. If a creature attacking causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. Trained by the Imperials, but disillusioned by their rigidity, he gave his heart and his sword to the Asari uprising. Seven colorless, and that's pretty expensive. It's an artifact vehicle with trample and haste, so it is a crew 2. 7/7. Very powerful. This is what I needed all that ally for. Arima to Empire. Mirror Shell Crab. 5 colorless, 2 blue, artifact creature crab, ward 3. Whenever this creature becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, counter it unless player pays 3. And also channel. 5/7. Golden Tailed Discipline. It is 1 white, 2 colorless, enchantment creature Fox Monk. Lifelink. Students of the Kitsune-led Golden Tail Academy of Ikanjo are paralleled in both martial skill and dedication to the Imperial cause. 2/3. Kami's Flare. 1 red, 1 colorless. Instant. Common. Kami's Flare deals 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker. Kami's Flare also deals 2 damage to that permanent's controller, if you control a modified creature. The flames are a gift from my companion. They won't hurt me. You, on the other hand. I really like the art on this one. It's like a bunch of severed hands going around. It's called Clawing Torment. 1 black. Enchantment. Enchant artifact or creature. As long as enchanted permanent is a creature, it gets -1/-1 and can't block. Enchanted permanent has, at the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 1 life. and never loosens its grasp. Geothermal Kami, Spirit Creature. When Geothermal Kami enters the battlefield, you may return its enchantment you control to the owner's hand. If you do, gain 3 life. A mysterious Kami will sometimes appear to overworked monks and offer them a warm, relaxing bath. Yukai Preserver, Human Druid. When Yukai Preserver enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. It also has channel, so you pay 2 colorless, 1 green. Discard Yukai Preserver and put a 1/1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures you control. The Kami grant you this boon, not I. This is the one that I played a lot last night. It's an Inkrise Infiltrator. 1 black, 1 colorless human ninja. I really like the art. So it is flying, and it is a 3 colorless, 1 black. Inkriser Infiltrator gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Another Saga. This one is blue. For 1 and 2, draw a card and discard a card. And then 3, transform your guy. Vector Glider, enchantment creature with flying. It drifted from the spirit realm into a neon world full of new possibilities and decided to stay. That's cute. Nezumi's Prowler, artifact creature, rat ninja, has ninjutsu. So return an unblocked attacker you control to hand. Put this card onto the battlefield from your hand tapped and attacking. When Nezumi's Prowler enters the battlefield, target creature you control gains Death Touch and lifelink until end of turn. 3/1. Discover the Impossible. 2 colorless, 1 blue. Look at the top 5 cards of your library, exile one of them face down, and put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. You may cast the exiled card without paying its mana cost. If it's an instant spell with a mana value 2 or less. If you don't, put that card into your hand. Blade Blizzard Kitsune, Fox Ninja. Do 1 white, 2 colorless. So this also has ninjutsu and double strike. In the time it takes most to master 1 blade, he has mastered 2. Alright, I think we have only 1 more left. So this one is a rare, very expensive. So it is 4 black, 1 colorless. Invoke Despair. Sorcery. Target opponent sacrifices a creature. If they can't, they lose 2 life and you draw a card. Then repeat the process for an enchantment and a planeswalker. Although officials said it was a sewer failure, the people whispered that it was a warning of the Night's Reach. Dramatist Puppet, 4 colorless, artifact creature construct. When Dramatist Puppet enters the battlefield, for each kind of counter on a target permanent, put another counter of that kind on it, or remove one from it. Chain Veil Centipede, or Chain Flail Centipede. 1 black, 2 colorless, artifact creature, equip an insect. Whenever Chain Veil Centipede or equipped creature attacks, it gets +2/+0 until end of turn. And then also has reconfigure, so I can take it from one creature to another or have it by itself. Season of Renewal. 1 green, 2 colorless, an instant. Choose one or both. Return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Return target enchantment card from your graveyard to your hand. Pavement ripped like paper as the ancient Kami awoke from her long slumber beneath the city. Planar Incision. 1 blue, 1 colorless. Exile target artifact or creature, then return it to the battlefield under its owner's control with a +1/+1 counter on it. Regent's Authority. Instant. 1 white. Target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. If it's an enchantment creature or legendary creature, instead put a 1/1 counter on it and it gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Before her spark pulled her away again, the Emperor appointed the wise light paws to guide Kamigawa in her absence. Crackling Emergence. 1 red, 1 colorless, enchantment aura. Enchant land you control. Enchanted land is a 3/3 red spirit creature with haste. It's still a land. If enchanted land would be destroyed, instead sacrifice Crackling Emergence, and that land gains indestructible until end of turn. Heir of the Ancient Fang. 1 green, 2 colorless, Snake Samurai. Heir of the Ancient Fang enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it if you control a modified creature. 2/3. Tamiyo's Completion. 3 colorless, 1 blue. Enchantment aura. Flash. Enchant artifact, creature, or planeswalker. When Tamiyo's Completion enters the battlefield, tap enchanted permanent. If it's an equipment, unattach it. Enchanted permanent loses all abilities and doesn't untap during the controller's untap step. Another saga. Kumano faces Kakazan. Kumano faces Kakazan deals 1 damage to each opponent and each planeswalker they control. Step 2. You cast your next creature spell this turn. That creature enters the battlefield with an additional 1/1 counter on it. And step 3. Etching of Kumano. Creature's Human Shaman haste. If creature dealt damage this turn by a source you controlled would die, exile it instead. Many Kami came to demand a secret he did not know, and every one of them fell. Towashi Guidebot, an artifact creature construct. When Towashi Guidebot enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. 4 colorless to 10 tap to draw a card. This ability costs 1 less to activate for each modified creature you control. Equipment auras you control and counters are modifications. When we were young, 3 colorless, 1 white, and instant. Up to 2 target creatures each get +2/+2 until end of turn. If you control an artifact and an enchantment, those creatures also get lifelink until end of turn. Since Imperial custom strictly forbade the Emperor to reveal her name, even to Kaito, her closest childhood friend, she had to suffer him calling her your Empress for much of their shared youth. Reito Sentinel, 3 colorless, artifact creature construct, defender. When Reito Sentinel enters the battlefield, target player mills 3 cards, meaning they put the top 3 cards of their library into their graveyard. Pay 3 colorless to put target card from your graveyard on the bottom of its owner's library. From a graveyard. And that is the last card. And then also a red D20. So, I did not do very well when I played with the deck that I had made, but I think it was more that I was very bent on playing the black color. I probably should have chosen another color, but that's alright. I still had fun. I look forward to kind of trying to get some of these cards into my other decks, so thank you for